Hey there, thank you so much for tuning into the Inside Out YouTube video this week. It is our last week of the Insecure project. This is however the 9th week of the Insecure project. It's titled Impostor Syndrome, inspired by the Pastor Steven Furtick. Not gonna try that. And also we wanted to commemorate everyone that was a part of this project. We really appreciate you. We're super grateful for you. So please do enjoy this video. And don't forget to tune into the last week of the Insecure project. And if this is the first video of the Insecure project you're watching, you should watch the rest of the other 10, 9, 8. Amen, Matt's hearing you, Lindsay. Anyways, thank you guys so much.
We live in a time where everybody wants to be a public figure. We live in a time, and please don't get mad at me for saying this, where even people who have a private account spend their whole lives posting stuff and commenting on stuff to create an image and a projection of a reality that may bear no resemblance. The awkward golf claps really helped me. I appreciate that. To the reality of their situation. And Jesus's brothers pull him aside and say, we've got a great idea. Why don't you show the world who you really are? The interesting thing about the text, and I'm gonna give this to you quick because the nexus of this text is in verse 5. It says that even Jesus' brothers did not believe in him. And since they didn't believe, they were trying to get him to perform. Anytime you have unbelief in your heart, it will cause you to try to perform to prove something that you don't really believe. In psychological terms, it's called the fraudulence complex, or some call it the imposter syndrome. And it speaks about how many of us have an inability to internalize our strengths and our accomplishments. Psychologists call it the imposter syndrome because they say that many of us secretly, deep down, feel like we're a fraud. Many of us secretly, deep down, feel like we have so much less to offer than what people expect. And that even when people compliment us, we figure that the reason that they're complimenting us is because they don't really see us for who we are. And if they ever saw us for who we are, if they ever saw how stupid we feel, if they ever saw how inexperienced we feel, if they really saw how nervous we really feel, they would kick us out the room. It happens to fathers, it happens to mothers, it happens to leaders, it happens to teenagers. It is the fear of being found out to be less than they thought you were. It is the fear that keeps you in a performance mode. It is the fear that keeps you spending money to look like something important because deep down you're afraid that you're really not. It is the fear that keeps you overcompensating, and you get in situations, and rather than letting other people be the center of attention, you feel the need to overcompensate to show how intelligent you are, because deep down you don't feel intelligent enough. So people think you're cocky, but you're really not cocky. You're scared with the conflict between who they think you're supposed to be and who you feel like you really are. It's called the imposter syndrome. It means that sometimes, even as I'm trying to fulfill my purpose, I feel like a fake. It's not that I'm a hypocrite. It's not that I'm insincere. It's just that deep down inside, I'm a man who sometimes feels like a little boy. I'm a preacher who sometimes feels like a sinner. I want to be wise, but sometimes I feel like a fool. And I'm wondering, is there anybody here who lately has been up under the pressure of an expectation? And when you feel that, the temptation and the tendency is to prove it. I gotta prove I'm a good dad. I gotta prove I'm a good mom. I gotta prove I'm a good preacher. I gotta prove it. And when you do it to prove it, it takes the joy out of it. See, Jesus didn't mind performing miracles.